brings us to why we are here today, which is a failure in the jail system. This massive jailbreak, which my statistics tell me could be the largest jailbreak in the history of the state, should never have happened. And the public deserves to know who, what, and how this happened. The responsibility for answering those questions will fall to the Attorney General. Her office will lead the investigation into this jailbreak. I've also ordered the Department of Corrections to audit the Orleans Parish Correctional Facility for compliance with basic jail guidelines and to remove all DOC inmates that were currently in the Orleans Parish Correctional Facility. I will be issuing an executive order that instructs the State Inspector General to get an inventory from the sheriff of all pretrial detainees and those awaiting sentences, like Derek Groves, the escapee, who pled guilty to manslaughter in October of last year and was awaiting sentencing. If he would have been sentenced by our court system, he most likely would not have had an opportunity to escape. That's extremely important. Now, once a person is booked, is arrested and booked, the case then goes to the district attorney or the attorney general. That is the second leg of our three-legged stool. Prosecutors who dismiss cases and release violent criminals must be addressed. 5 of these escapees had been charged while in jail. Kendall Miles, Lenton Vanberg were charged with battery on correctional officers. Those charges were refused by the district attorney. Robert Moody, Jermaine Donald, and Lenton Vanberg were all charged with contraband in jail. Their charges were refused by the district attorney. Prosecutors who are unprepared and delay cases for years must be addressed in this court system. 9 of the 10 escapees have been in the pretrial stages in OPCC for years now. Resolving these cases requires cooperation between the district attorney and judges, as only the judge has the ability to continue these cases. I'm asking the DA to explain to us and to the public why these cases are not progressing. The third leg of our stool is our courts. Last year, I requested the Louisiana Supreme Court to do an in-depth review of the Orleans criminal court system. They issued a finding, and I've been working inside the criminal court system to reprimand and to remove judges who are not properly administering their cases. We also established a more robust judicial commission by a constitutional amendment last year that was passed by the voters. That commission has recently been seated. I will be issuing an executive order asking the new Judiciary Commission to establish triggers for investigations by them, particularly in judicial districts with high crime rates, such as Orleans, East Baton Rouge, Rapides, Caddo. This executive order will mandate the commission to specify specific review triggers, including reviewing the number of judge trials and acquittal rates in criminal courts. There should be an automatic review of any judge that has a disproportionate number of acquittals, as we have seen here in Orleans Parish. Judges with cases of clear evidence of guilt but resulting in acquittals should be scrutinized. Investigating cases that take too long to go to trial. As I mentioned, 9 of these 10 escapees were sitting in jail waiting to go to trial. Had they gone to trial, had they been convicted, had they been sentenced, they will most likely not be in Orleans Parish Jail, but in our custody in one of the state penitentiaries. addressing judges' failures to revoke probation for violations. Last year, our Secretary of Corrections highlighted the lenient enforcement of probation terms for violent offenders and the need for appropriate sentences. I passed that letter out to the press. It was in December of last year to both the district attorney and to the judges. I urge both the Orleans Parish District Attorney and the Criminal District Court to reevaluate the sentencing and take probation violations seriously. Probation should not be used to keep violent criminals from going to jail. I repeat, probation is not for violent criminals. The docket is also a key. My understanding is that the Orleans Parish Jail is beyond capacity because, again, the cases are not moving, such as 9 of the 10 escapees. Now, there is no excuse for the escape of these violent offenders. There is also no excuse for the way these cases are currently being mismanaged in our criminal justice system. Whether it's an escapee or a release, the public deserves to know why. And not just in Orleans Parish, but around the rest of the state as well. That brings us to a data issue. I'm also requesting that the Metropolitan Crime Commission work in the most violent crime cities in the state to establish a data modeling system similar to what they're doing here in Orleans. This will include regular reporting of crime data from the point of arrest to the point of conviction. I'm hoping that not only summer, but some sunlight has arrived in Louisiana. In closing, I continue to believe that our citizens want law and order. They want security in their neighborhoods, and they want safe streets for their children. The frustration grows with a broken criminal justice system. Our taxpayers and our citizens deserve transparency and accountability. The issues that I've laid out and the executive orders that will follow will demand that. This city has been misled by those who pour out-of-state money funding the promise of justice reform. Electing officials with no frontline experience and those who pander voters lead to a lack of safety and order, which is why we're standing here today, which is why so many of our law enforcement agencies have to comb this city in this street, hunting down some of the most dangerous criminals. The irony of the progressive promises that have been made to this city is clear. New Orleans handed the jail keys to those who vowed to keep criminals out of jail. And sadly, today, we show that it worked. I hope that everyone understands that the video of those prisoners escaping epitomizes a progressive criminal justice system. I again would ask the public for their prayers and thoughts of all of those law enforcement agents who are working diligently to hunt down these fugitives. We will find them, and we will bring them back to justice. And to repeat what the colonel said, if anybody harbors them, if anybody aids them, and we find out, we will arrest you, and we will bring you to justice as well. Thank you.